So hi, my name is Sharon, and I've been receiving social assistance for about a year and a half. I'm with the Bread and Bricks Social Justice Group at the stop, and also with Put Food in the Budget. Put Food in the Budget is a provincial campaign to raise assistance rates so that people can live a life of health and dignity. This is important to me because as someone on assistance, I often have to choose between food or transit, food or toilet paper, or food and rent. Like too many people, I have to make this decision on a daily basis so that I wind up walking all over the place in order to save a few dollars here and there. Once in a while, I get a break. Between Christmas and New Year's of last year, I found a cucumber on the sidewalk. It had obviously fallen out of someone's shopping, and since it was wrapped in plastic and hadn't been run over or otherwise damaged, I picked it up and took it home. It was a really nice treat, especially since I would never actually buy a cucumber. I need the money for other items too much, particularly items I can't get from the food bank or the good food market. I made that cucumber last for 2 weeks. It was literally a cucumber from heaven. But this is not a life of health and dignity. In April, for the Put Food in the Budget launch of the Dalton and Mew Tour, I walked from the stop to Queen's Park carrying a stuffed suit of Premier McGuinty. I walked with a group of about 40 people, stopping along the way to allow people to talk to Dalton, so they could let the Premier know how his austerity budget is affecting them. And at this event, and many others from around the province, we heard a lot of stories of just how dreadful austerity has been for most people. This is important because of the changing political landscape. We're coming up on the 4th anniversary of McGuinty's poverty reduction strategy. 4 years later, and where are we? Social assistance rates are still too low. These rates don't cover the cost of living and are set by politicians who only care about getting re-elected. The McGuinty government has also been reviewing the social assistance program, but there have been no indications that they want to improve the system. We're still waiting for the final report. And what they're doing with the community startup and maintenance benefit, but getting a running start at cuts that they're planning down the line. And after devastating cuts during the 90s and a failure to keep up with inflation, the rates have actually gone down. The current government series of 1% increases, resulting in just extra pennies per day, have contributed to keeping rates ridiculously low. This is not a life of health and dignity. The changing landscape also includes McGuinty's austerity agenda. We hear that there's not enough money, that we need to balance the budget. That's what they keep telling us. So what do they suggest? That the poor pay for it, that we have services cut, wages slashed, welfare reduced. As some of you know from personal experience, we already live lives that are so austere, there isn't anything or anywhere to cut, regardless of whether we are on assistance or are working poor. There's not enough money because corporations and the very rich are not paying their fair share. They want us to survive on charity. And do we want charity? We want justice. We deserve justice. Social assistance rates and minimum wages are condemning us here in Toronto and hundreds of thousands across Ontario to a life of such smallness that we are boxed in by the very system that's supposed to help us. These rates have long-term consequences to health and well-being, and that is not a life of health and dignity. For justice and respect for every person in the province of Ontario, whatever their situation. We advocate with hope and support